What's up, adventurers? My name is Platinum Phoenix, and welcome back to Fossil Fighters Champions. Last time, we did the first leg of the Calisteel Super Cup on Ribular Island. And this time, we have some old antagonist friends that we need to see again. Starting with Lola here. But before we actually do that, I want to open up my status screen and go over to my Vivosaurs, because I want to show that if we view all of them are rank 20, as we saw last episode, but I also went ahead and got all of them a 100-point gold fossil rock, basically allowing them to have the best additional stats that they could possibly have, as well as the 3 that can super evolve are super evolved. So Rock here and Medusa here are back to their original colors, which they have not been for a long while. And this also makes it a lot easier for my Vivosaurs to compete more on a fair footing with the other characters in this game, because a lot of them all have rank 20 Vivosaurs with good super fossils on them. And I just wanted to make sure my Vivosaurs also had that. But with that being said, hey Lola. Oh, wow. We meet again. It's like karma steering us down the path, man. Or maybe you just want to battle me? That would be groovy. Yeah, let's go ahead and battle. Oh, wow. Cool. This is gonna blow your mind. All right, getting into this rematch with Lola. She beat me by 1 speed. You gotta be kidding me. What I was going to say is that Lola has all rank 20 Boneysaurs here, being the B Bronchio, the B Lambio, and the B Terra. No, B Jara is what she has. And because of that, I decided to bring Obsidian Rock and Harpy to this fight. And this is just went awfully from the very start of this. Like, my God, I don't think this could have gone worse. I'm asleep. I've been rotated to the back. I'm double asleep. Wow. They didn't do a whole ton of damage, but, like, man, that was awful. But also, going over Lola's Vivosaurs more, because we're just skipping past our turn, she has all rank 20, as I already said, but all of them have 100-point gold fossil rocks, which means that me going out of my way to get all the gold fossil rocks just puts us even with her, which is kind of wild to think about, just an optional fight that you could do in the post game here. But I think what I want to do is we're going to inflame Obsidian, and I'm going to punch this B Jara to the next millennium. Because it put me to sleep, and I didn't like that very much. I don't even think I need to Lordly Buster. I think I'm just going to punch it. You know what? It had 20%. Yeah, it's dead. Never mind. I was going to say it had the 20% boost to its defense. Didn't even matter. I know the B Lambio also has a sleep skill, which I'm worried that it's going to do. Also, this is going to rotate me because it has a 100% rotate. Please be like 1 space. Nope. Oh God. Don't hit rock. Please. Okay, thank God. Had me worried there for a second. So we're just gonna casually rotate Obsidian back to the front. And we're going to crush this B Lambio because I don't want to deal with it anymore. And flip. 211, 270, that's a dead B Lambio. Now all we have left is the B Bronchio, which should not be a giant problem. Honestly, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here, actually. Because if I do this, that brings us down. Yeah, I think I'm going to Raptor combo just to get some extra damage. I was thinking about Dirt Spraying just so I could get the Golden Enrage, but I don't think it's going to be necessary At least not entirely. And we're just going to go with that. And then that also leaves me up 30 to inflame again at the start of the turn. As long as this thing doesn't rotate me for a third time, which it doesn't look like it's going to. Also, Obsidian is just beasting these hits, even with 21% less defense. That's insane, actually. And I think we're actually going to have Harpy give it to Obsidian. Just so, if I need to, we have Rock in the back. But I think we're just going to Lordly Buster and see how much this does. Because I think with 69% more attack, honestly, that did less than I was hoping for. Link? Ah, we're so close. That's so disappointing. It has like, what, 2 LP left? And it's going to rotate me. Of course he's going to rotate me. That's so frustrating. 1 space. That's 15. Or that's 4 spaces. Alright, fine. All the way back to the front. All the way. And I think I actually want to see how much. It has 1 LP. That's ridiculous. Harpy Spirit. 73, and that is the B Brachio down and Lola done. And Phoenix has won in an impressive fashion, and we get 30 points for winning that. Surreal, man. You're just too much. And for beating Lola, we get the mini Lola icon, the King Bones icon, and the B-Rex, the B Brachio, and the B Jura. But with Lola defeated, we now need to head over to Cranial Isle. We can say hello to Lester. I just won a chili dog eating contest, and now I'm ready for a battle. Sure, man, let's battle. Rawr! I'm beat you with my Vtuber and then slap you with my big full belly. Alright, starting off our match with Lester. We actually win by a decent amount this time, unlike Lola, who beats us by 1. But he brings a rank 20 B Tricera, rank 20 B Brachio, and a rank 20 B Rex. All with the golden Super Evolver Skull Fossil Rock, which makes this kind of difficult. I think I want to take out the B Tricera first, because it has insane support effects. And that's also the reason I decided to bring Zephyr instead of Obsidian to this fight. Because Zephyr should make quick work of the B Tricera, as just like that. That was so fast. Alright, what do you got? He's probably going to rotate the B-Rex to the front and then rotate me, if I were to guess. If I were a betting man. Okay, Skeletal Assault. Flame. Oh, no. Rock. Oh, that only did like half of its life. I thought Rock was just going to die there. And now I have to make a decision. Do I use Harpy as a support and let Zephyr just obliterate this B-Rex, or do I try to attack? You know what? I think the 183 attack speaks for itself. We're just gonna Tesla scale. I think it's the better move here. 183 attack is insane, by the way. And that's just a dead B-Rex. And then I think we're just going to Raptor combo the B Brachio to get some damage on it. This fight is going a lot smoother than Lola's fight. Granted, we were able to take out one of his Vtuber before he was able to move. So, I think that makes it go a lot easier. Alright, you just have the B Brachio left. Are you going to rotate me now? Is that the plan? Bony Tsunami. No, this is the second ability. This is just damage. And I think we're just gonna do second verse, same as the first. Attack with Zephyr. Even out of range, 183 damage, or 183 attack is just insane. So Tefla scale, that's 119, plus Link. Honestly, if we Raptor combo, does that take it out? I probably should have rotated Rock to the front, now that I think about it. 31, 36, doesn't matter. I think the crit mattered, and I'll take it. Also 6-7. And for winning, we get 30 points. That was lamer than a smooth jazz radio station. I'm gonna go lift some amps and see if building my muscles helps me battle. See you around, punk. And for beating Lester, we get the mini Lester icon, as well as the Scary Bones icon, and the B Tricera, the B Terra, and that's it. But now that we have beaten 2 of the BB commanders, it's only right that we need to head to Ilium Island to find the last of them. And that being Cole, who is just hidden right up here by the entrance to the Ice Grip Plateau. Did I ever tell you I invented grumping? Yes, it's a long story. Anyway, you want to battle? Sure, man, let's battle. Alright, but make sure to tell all your friends about how gracious I was in victory. Alright, getting into our fight with Cole. We, once again, beat him by a pretty good margin of speed. And I decided to bring the exact same team to fight Cole because of the exact same reason I decided to bring this team to fight Lester. And that is because the problem Venusaur he has is a water type. And more specifically, it's this B Plesio. Because look at those support effects. Plus 99% to both attack and speed is terrifying, if I'm being honest. So we're just going to Inflame, and I think I want to take out... I don't think I can take out the B Plesio in one attack, unfortunately. It only has 170 health, but it's so far back that I don't know if I can or not. But you know what? I think I'm going to try. Because I don't want to attempt attacking either of the front ones and then missing. Oh, perfect. Almost exactly enough damage to take it out, actually. That's amazing. And that gets rid of their good support effects immediately, which makes this fight so much easier. The other thing about this fight is since we are in Ilium, we do have the slippery floor to contend with, which means I don't believe any of his Venusaurs have Excite, but if they do, it makes this battle very difficult. Which I'm actually going to check that once it's my turn, because I want to make sure he doesn't have it, and if he does, to get rid of it as quickly as possible. Okay, Ice, if you could just move me one space. That's 4 spaces. That's the opposite of what I asked. We're just going to move right back to the front, all the way. And do either of you, you do not, and you do not. You have a Scare team ability, but I think we're taking out this B Lambio right here. So I don't think it's going to be a problem, because as soon as you're down to yourself, yeah, you can't use that anymore. And all you have left is damaging skills. So you're pretty much done. All we have left is a little B-Rex to deal with. And since it's an attacker, it's going to move to the front, just in position for Zephyr to obliterate it. Skeletal Assault, this is going to do a lot of damage. 48, 70, 94. It's like almost, or I was going to say it's almost 200. It was over 200. One space. Thank you. Now, do I flip? No, I think I inflame. I think the right move is to inflame. Because we inflame, give it even extra attack, plus the 69, 183, toughness scale, dead B-Rex. That's the equation I'm going with. 337, definitely enough to take out a B-Rex. And with that, that is all 3 of the BB commanders taken out and 30 more points gained. Yeah, whatever. I wasn't really trying. Plus, I was out late last night at a show for this new idol band, or indie band. I doubt you've heard of them. And for beating Cole, we get the Mini Cole icon, the BareBones icon, as well as the B Lambio and B Plesio. But with all the BB commanders taken out, I think we need to head back over to Ribular Island to see our reward. So back with Ike. We've been talking to him a lot lately, actually. But if we scroll over, I believe they are right here. So here's Mini Cole, we have Mini Lester, and then for some reason Mini Lola is after Rupert, and I'm not sure why. I would have put all the commanders together. But we also get the BareBones, the Scary Bones, and the King Bones icons from this. But the big rewards that you get from this, because icons are such small reward, but the big reward is, of course, the Boneysaurs. So let's go over them, starting with the B-Rex. And actually, before I start talking about the B-Rex specifically, I want to talk about all of the Boneysaurs, because all of them are gotten at rank 20, and they all have the 100-point gold fossil rocks already equipped to them. So they're actually pretty powerful right out the gate. But other than that, they are just emulations of the original Vivosaurs. So basically, they are very similar to the Vivosaurs they are based off of, with very few differences. So, to get specific, with the B-Rex, it keeps the attack that hits both the attack zone and the support zone of your opponents, but it loses both of the scare skills that the regular T-Rex has, which kind of sucks, because why does the original have scare skills, but the literal skeleton doesn't? That doesn't make sense. Other than that, it also has much lower stats than the original T-Rex. Having lower attack is especially bad for it. And it has positive support effects instead of the strictly negative support effects that the T-Rex has. So I would say that the B-Rex is basically a better support T-Rex that is less focused on doing strictly attacking. But next up is the B-Bronchio. And the B-Bronchio keeps the 100% rotate skill that the regular Bronchio has, which is really the big thing the regular Bronchio had, so it's actually pretty good. It also has worse stats, as I will say a lot during these bios, than the original Bronchio, and it has positive support effects, while the original had no support effects. I would say, once again, it's a better support Bronchio, which is good except when you take into account that it has lower LP and lower defense, making it a lot easier for it to be taken out. But, moving on for the B Bronchio, next up is B Tricera. And the B Tricera is actually much more closely related to Proto than to the regular Tricera. And the reason I say that is because it has really low stats, like Proto has. It has very good support effects, like Proto has. It also has Super Harden, which Proto has, while Tricera has Inflame. And then the other thing that makes me say it's like Proto is that it has a transformation skill, allowing it to transform randomly into any of the other Boneysaurs, which, I'll be honest, is kind of a letdown of a skill, because we get all of the Boneysaurs basically at the same time. So if you want to use a different Boneysaur other than B Tricera, just get that one. I mean, I would say this has one of the better support effects. So if you want to use it for the support effects and then maybe switch out if you want to do attacking, that might work. But as I said previously, a lot of these have lower stats, and it doesn't really work that well. But moving on from B Tricera, next up is B Plesio. And B Plesio keeps all of the poison skills of the regular Plesio, while having lower LP and lower defense, but having increased attack. So the B Plesio is much better at actually dealing damage than the regular Plesio. The biggest downside is that the B Plesio does not have a Super Evolver form, while the regular Plesio does. I would say, other than that, it's pretty equal to the regular Plesio because of its great support effects that are very focused instead of being spread out, and the use of the poison skills that it still gets. But next up, after the B Plesio, is B Terra. And B Terra is actually a version of a Venusaur we haven't seen yet. So it's kind of hard to compare it to something we haven't seen, but it actually is one of the only Boneysaurs that has better stats than its original counterpart. It also has a great rotate skill and great support effects. So this is actually a Boneysaur that I highly recommend because it is a really good version of the Terra. But after B Terra is the B Jara. And B Jara is our first example, and one of the only examples, of the Boneysaurs that have switched type. While the original Jara is neutral type, the B Jara is fire type. It also keeps all of the skill effects that it has, allowing it to do several crazy things, like put your opponents to sleep with a gold sleep skill, steal FP, and inflict heavy damage, basically becoming a nuke by giving up its own LP. Other than that, it has roughly equal stats to the regular Jara, and it has great positive support effects, while the regular Jara has negative support effects for your opponent. So I would call that roughly equal as well. But moving on to the final Boneysaur, it is the B Lambio. And B Lambio, I would say, is the biggest change from the regular Venusaur to the Boneysaur. And the reason I say that is because, one, it is the only other Boneysaur rather than the B Jara that changes type, going from a fire type to an air type. It has lost its Enrage and Excite skill from the regular Lambio. It has almost strictly worse stats than the regular Lambio. And it only has okay positive support effects rather than the good negative support effects that the regular Lambio has. And honestly, I would say that this is the Boneysaur I feel is the biggest downgrade from the regular version to the Boneysaur version. But with all of the Boneysaurs gone over, I think we're going to end this episode here. So I hope that everyone enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Next time, we have some side quests we need to finish up. But until then, happy adventuring.